We're looking for a deadly cover-up. Narset.
The focused and disciplined hone your prowess.
Oh. There it is. Oh yeah, it's over. It is over. Is it Phoenix? What are you gonna do without any Phoenixes? Pansy. How about we play Is It Phoenix with no Phoenixes? I wonder how fun that'll be. Let's try that. Let's see how that experience goes. What's up everyone, welcome back to the Carnarium. It's Waste and we got another deck for you today. Today we're playing a little Dimir control in Pioneer. Let's see if this deck can get some wins today. So what are we running? This deck is based around this Planeswalker, Ashiok Nightmare Muse. Some of you may remember this from Standard a few years ago. What is this? This is from Theros. Love this Planeswalker. +1, make a 2/3 Nightmare. -3, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and that player exiles a card from their hand. -7, we may cast 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponents own in exile without paying their mana costs. Base level, this Planeswalker comes down and creates us blockers, right? It creates 2/3 Nightmares. When those Nightmares attack or block, they exile cards off of our opponent's library, so we can get cards into exile that way. So if we have 2 or 3 Nightmares down, and we're blocking or attacking, every turn, that turns into 6, 8 cards of their deck going into exile. So it's a little mill clock, but it's also putting cards into exile so that we might get to the -7 and cast them later. The -3 is sometimes a mode that we use. We can return a non-land permanent, which is great because blue-black struggles with things like enchantments and artifacts, you know, to interact with those types of permanents. So being able to target a non-land permanent of any kind and put it back into their owner's hand is great. And then the -7, obviously, if we get to it, is great. This deck doesn't run a ton of exile stuff, but it does have a sprinkling of it. So just in case, we can use the -7 to cast stuff from our opponent's library and maybe win the game that way. Other spells in the deck, it's blue-black control, right? So we got Spell Pierces for early game counters, 3 steps ahead for late game counters, plus card draw if we need it. Fatal Push, Thoughtseize package, have to run it in black if you're in Pioneer. Jawari Disruption, just a one of. We don't want to run too many MDFCs or too many tap lands, so having an extra counter is nice. It does come up, especially in the early game. Sheoldred's Edict's nice against decks that run like one big creature, or they run a Planeswalker or 2. It's just a versatile removal spell. Midnight Clock, it's a 3 of. I would kind of rather this be a mixture of Celestis and Midnight Clock, not so heavy on Midnight Clock, but it is a really good card. It's an artifact, 3-mana artifact, taps for blue, and then once it gets to 12 hour counters, we shuffle our hand and graveyard into our library, and then we draw a fresh 7. So that's amazing for a control deck. It just takes a while to get to 12 hour counters. And then the other thing is, Celestis, while not as powerful, it doesn't draw us a fresh 7 or shuffle our graveyard into our library. What it does do is it gives us incremental value every turn and gains us life. And then on top of that, it taps for 1 mana of any color, and Midnight Clock only taps for blue. So this deck is blue and black, right? So here's the scenario. We turn 3, we have 3 mana, we play a Celestis. Now we have blue or black up for a Fatal Push or a Spell Pierce, right? Super common scenario that comes up if we have both in our hand. If we play a Midnight Clock, we only have blue mana, so we can only hold up a Spell Pierce. So Midnight Clock, while very good, sometimes feels like a tempo loss. I think as I get more wild cards, I will crack more Celestis and put them in the deck, and maybe make Midnight Clock a 1 of or a 2 of, maybe do a split between the two. Anyway, more card draw, Narset. So this has a static ability. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. So this stops our opponents from drawing cards, so it stops Treasure Cruise and anything else that an opponent would cast to draw lots of cards. And then for the -2, we can look at the top 4 cards of our library, and we may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from them and put it into our hand. So Narset both stops the opponent from drawing cards and puts cards into our hand. And digging 4 is really key. We usually can get 2 activations out of Narset, so we get to look at the top 8 cards of our library and put 2 cards in our hand. It's really good in this deck. We can choose the cards that we need and put away the cards that we don't. Murderous Rider is a versatile removal spell. Can destroy creatures or planeswalkers, and it can come down on the backside as a 2/3 lifelinker, which definitely comes up. Killing a creature against mono red and then casting the backside 2/3 lifelinker is a nice little swing in our favor, because then they, you know, in order to kill us, they have to attack into it and we gain life. We already talked about the Celestis, but essentially it draws us 1 card a turn. It's not exactly 1 card a turn because we have to flip day night. Passively, it draws us cards and gains us life, which is amazing. And like I said, it taps for 1 mana of any color, so it's really good in the deck. 1 commit to memory. We might want to do 2 commit to memories in the future, just because the memory plus Narset is such a funny thing to Narset wheel someone, but it's 4 mana is a lot for a removal spell, but this can remove, or it can not counter, but it can take a spell on the stack and tuck it away, or a non-land permanent. So again, like we talked about, blue and black have a trouble with certain permanent types like enchantments and artifacts. So commit to memory is a nice little backup plan to put away something problematic that normally we couldn't deal with, and maybe we can counter it later once they redraw it. Or we can cast the memory side, and each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and then draws 7 cards. Now that's good for our opponent too, right? They draw 7 cards, but if we have Narset down, the static ability stops them from drawing cards. If you're unfamiliar, the famous phrase Narset wheel, memory is a wheel effect, right? You draw a fresh 7 after you shuffle your hand in your library. Narset would stop our opponent from drawing all those cards because of her static ability. So we would draw 7 and our opponent would draw nothing, which is really funny. Hopefully we get to Narset wheel at some point in this video. Extinction event, only a 2 of. While it's a very good effect, it's nice to have mass exile removal. The ability to choose odd or even sometimes puts us in a weird spot. Not all decks run mostly even or mostly odd creatures. Sometimes it's half and half, so it puts us in a weird spot where we have to choose odd or even. But I would say after playtesting this deck, most of the time it gets rid of 75% of the board, which is usually more than enough because we can clean up the rest of it with our Fatal Pushes and our Shieldred's Edicts and our Murderous Riders. Deadly Cover-Up is the all-star in this deck. Like we talked about, Ashiok's -7 ability, we want cards in exile. We don't really want to run a ton of exile removal because at least in Pioneer, it's not very mana efficient. Like Fatal Push is a much better removal spell than the next best exile removal spell. However, Deadly Cover-Up lets us collect evidence 6, so we can exile total mana value of 6 cards from our graveyard, and then we get to wipe the board and search our opponent's graveyard for a card and exile it. And then we can search their whole library, hand, and graveyard for cards with the same name as that spell and exile them from their deck. If we're playing Is It Phoenix, for example, we wipe the board, we can then look in their graveyard for a Phoenix and exile it, and then exile all Phoenixes from their deck. And then their deck just doesn't work anymore. So Deadly Cover-Up is super good against a lot of different strategies in Pioneer because a lot of them are dependent on one specific card. If we are up against a Transmogrify deck and we exile their Transmogrify, I mean, their deck doesn't work anymore. 1 Blood on the Snow, it's a 6 mana Wrath, but it destroys all Planeswalkers, so just in case we come up against a Planeswalker heavy deck, it's nice to have one of these. We are running Snowlands, not a ton, maybe like 7, so it's unlikely, but there is a chance that we can resurrect a Planeswalker from the graveyard. Casting a Blood on the Snow and having like 3 Snowlands and getting a Narset back is really good value. So 6 mana, wipe the board, get a Narset back from our graveyard. It's good value. That's why it's only a 1 of. It's just a 1 of because we don't want to draw this in our opening hand. We want to have this later on. It won't have the maximum effectiveness until we have enough Snowlands. 1 Seagate Restoration, again, we don't want too many MDFCs, but it's nice to have another draw spell tucked away in the deck. Castle of Antris, against another control deck or against a deck where we can't quite kill them, but we have mana to spend and we're kind of in a stalemate. It's nice to have Castle of Antris to filter through our deck. That's also a 1 of. Like I said, 7 Snowlands, and then just your collection of different kinds of dual lands. Fable Passage helps us turn on the Revolt side of Fatal Push, and Interplanar Beacon gains us life. We are running 6 Planeswalkers, so Interplanar Beacon helps us gain life every time we play a Planeswalker, and if we have multiple of these downs, we gain multiple amounts of life every time we play a Planeswalker. So that's the deck. Like I said, based around Ashiok, our goal is really to just control the board, clear it, get Ashiok down, start making nightmares, eventually make the opponent lose the will to play Magic anymore. So let's see if we can do that today in Pioneer. Alright, opponent gets to go first. We do have a Spell Pierce. Awkward 2 lands that depend on us having an island and we don't have one, although we do have 3 lands. So we could technically shock this in, hold up a Spell Pierce, and then have 2 tap lands. I mean, you know, depending on the deck, if this is mono red, it's going to be rough. We do have 2 Wraths, but it's going to take us 4 and 5 turns to get there. Against another kind of deck, this is okay. We'll try it. It's got good cards in it, it's just slow. The mana's slow. But you can't always have everything. A mole. Okay. Oh, this might be a Spelunking deck. In that case, let's... They can't play Spelunking until the following turn. So let's get the Catacomb down. Oh, we drew a Watery Grave. I should have just played that. Oh well. That turns on the rest of our stuff. We don't have... Well, we have a 3 steps ahead. No, let's just play this tapped. That turns on our Castle Vantress. We can hold up Spell Pierce. Growing Dread. Nope. Okay, so it's a Growing Dread deck. So this is the deck that flips into Valgavoth. Manifest Dread. This is a funny card. It has the same name as what it does. It's named Manifest Dread, and the text on the card is Manifest Dread. Pretty funny. So this is probably... Well, we don't know, but it could be a Valgavoth if they flip it. So that would be bad. But we do have an extinction event, so we can get rid of it without having to target it. Let's... We do have another counter spell. Let's Castle Vantress and pass. I forget, I think they just flip it, like with a bounce effect or a flicker effect. I think that's how their deck works. I don't see this deck that often. But the last time I played it, I believe they used that one, it's like 1 blue Essence Flux, that's the one. Essence Flux to flip it. Okay. Do we want to do anything with this? Do we want to draw 2 cards? No. I think we just hold. Okay, perfect. Now we can Fatal Push. Temple of Deceit, see what's on top of our deck. Another Narset. Another Narset. Probably not. Probably not. Okay. Do it like this. Pass the turn. We have a counter and a removal spell. Ready to go. Let's see what they do. Pills. We're playing Pills today. What you got, Pills? What do you got tucked under that face down card? If they don't do anything, we'll just Fatal Push. Splash Portal. Exile target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. If that creature is a bird, frog, otter, or rat, draw a card. So, we could counter this, or we could just Fatal Push it. I think we Fatal Push, just in case they have a negate or something like that. And then we can Extinction Event it next turn. Or we can Deadly Cover Up. So yeah, if they have a counter, let's force it out. We're not going to die here even if they flip it. If it's a Valgavoth or whatever, we can just Extinction Event it. Or Deadly Cover Up. Okay, they didn't have anything. What was it? Prime Speaker Zagana. Enters with X+1/+1 counters, or X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. When it enters, draw cards equal to its power. Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and pay the 3 life and hold up 3 steps ahead. We're not in any rush. I'm okay having a staring match with you, Pills. I'm okay. Alright, let's Castle Vantress. Like we talked about in the intro, this is why it's in the deck. Another Spell Pierce and another Narset. I think Spell Pierce could be nice. I also want lands. Yeah, let's just take the Spell Pierce and go from there. Pass through the turn. It doesn't look like they have anything to play at instant speed. Okay. We'll just do this forever. This is our comfort zone. Another Deadly Cover Up. Another Extinction Event. I think we'd rather have lands at this point. I think our hand's pretty stacked. Cool. See what's on top of our deck. Fatal Push. Yep. Okay, your go. Pills. What do you got, Pills? Otherworldly Gaze. Okay, yeah, it resolves. Resolves. Pills. What you got going on there, buddy? What's in your hand? Thoughtseize would be super nice right now. If I could Thoughtseize them, then I might start playing out some stuff. I just don't know if they're running counters, and the moment we get countered, it's a complete tempo loss. It's a complete flip for us. Okay, so 3 steps ahead. Let's see if they're running Spell Pierce. They are not. Alright. Well, let's dump the Murderous Rider. We have a Fatal Push. Yeah, we're in the driver's seat for sure. Now we have 2 counters, 3 mana total. So I think we can play the Narset here. Gain a life. Start digging for Ashiok. Ah, there you are. Pills. Pills. Did you take your pills this morning, Pills? They can otherworldly gaze all day. I do not care. We don't want to waste our counters on these types of effects. Okay, well, before we do anything, let's dig with Narset.
Meditate and prepare.
Yeah. What you got going on that hand, Pills? Alright, Essence Flux, Oculus. So what are these mana values? 6, 6, 3. Well, they can't draw cards with this because of Narset. Other creatures can have Trample. We're not worried about that. We have a lot of removal. So let's get rid of the Oculus. Doesn't look like they can do anything to me that I'm worried about next turn. They can play a creature if they draw land, but I am not worried about that. I just didn't want to play Ashiok and have them have a haste creature or some type of removal or counterspell, something like that. We could Spell Pierce this and make them pay the mana, but I don't think that's what we're going to do. Let's let them Growing Dread. Resolve. They can manifest a creature. And then when they target it with Essence Flux, they can scoop it up. Bills, where are you going? Rank up. Platinum tier 3. Oh, I had a great time. I had a great time. On to the next. Alright, we get to go first against Herder. We're playing Yorion. Alright. Fatal Push probably not good in this matchup. Thoughtseize is. I think we'll keep just because of the Thoughtseize. You never know. Yorion decks can be a lot of different things. So let's just turn 1 Thoughtseize them, see what's going on. Spelunking, Blue, Sun's Twilight. What the heck is this? As long as you control 10 or more lands, creature you control gets +2/+2. Whenever it or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters the top card of your library, if it's a land card, you may put it on the battlefield tapped. Dream Entrancer. Tap to 1 target. This is a weird Yorion deck, but I think Spelunking is probably their best card here, so let's get rid of that. Spelunking is usually a combo piece. Insidious Fungus. Okay. This is like a ramp spell. Okay. No. How about no? Other Thoughtseize. Well, we're not under any pressure, so I guess going down another 2 life is not that bad. Clifftop Lookout. When it enters, reveal cards on the top of your library to reveal a land card for the card. So it's like ramp, 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 right? Roll that creature, draw 2 cards. I don't even know what to take. I guess this, because it's gonna ramp them and they don't have anything else to play. Yeah, they just have to pay for Yorion here. Okay. We could play this as a land. It might be good as a counterspell. They can't play anything right now, so they are... Is it worth the tempo loss of missing a land drop to counter their next thing? Probably not. Probably not at this point in the game. We can just kill whatever they play. Yep. So with that on the stack, we'll kill it, so they don't draw any cards. Alright, then I guess we'll just play the backside here and get some pressure on the board. I mean, they could steal it. They don't want to do that. Okay. Do we attack? No attacks. Let's get the Narset down. Gain a life. What are we looking for here? More Thought Seizes, 3 steps ahead, Shouldered's Edict. They could Blue Sun's Twilight my creature next turn and attack down Narset. So I think we'll just take the 3 steps ahead. Go from there. Herder. What's in your hand? Okay, so they're gonna put some stun counters on their thing. Oops. Narset's blocking them from drawing any cards. Herder. That's not what we wanted.
Meditate.
Spell Pierce. How does Blue Suns work? Mana value. Okay, gotcha. That's why they haven't cast it yet. Extinction Event. Are these both even? No. We have a ton of removal, so I think we're taking the Spell Pierce here. And we will pass. Resolve. You're gonna Blue Sun? Or what is it? Yeah, Blue Sun's Twilight? How about no? Alright, and then we can draw 3 cards. Draw 2 cards. Discard 1. Need some lands. Okay. Well, we don't need a tap land, that's for sure. Let's get rid of the tap land. Do we just let the Narset go at this point? I think so. Yeah, Narset's done its job. We don't need to get rid of our Murderous Rider. It's a nice blocker for later. Okay, so what does this say? As long as you control 10 or more lands. Okay, so they don't. Whenever it or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put on the battlefield tapped. Sure. No problem.
Creeping, thieving progeny.
They're attacking with just the 3/4. That's fine. Gain some life. They could blink this with Yorion and draw some cards. That's probably what I would have done, but that makes sense. Bounce land. Sure. Right now they have nothing in exile. Do we have enough in our graveyard? I think we have enough to collect evidence 6. Attack, we're definitely blocking. We'll exile 2 cards off the top of their library. What did they get? Or what did we get, rather? Okay. Cool. Okay. Gain 2 life. So how much mana we have left? We'll have 4. So we can't play this, unfortunately. Do we have enough snowlands? 1, 2. Not enough snowlands. I was going to say we could get back Narset as well. That would have been dope. But doing this is also good. We will... Since we have that... So what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah! So we have to use the Narset. It's okay. 1 more snowland. What are we getting rid of? There's Spelunking. Blue Sun's Twilight. Yeah, I don't really think we care about their creatures. Let's get rid of this. I don't like them taking my stuff. Let's check out the rest of their deck. What do you got going on? Copy. Spelunking. Yeah. Okay. It's just a bunch of creatures, so we're set up for that. Make a nightmare. Herder. Or Archway. You play a Sad Yorion. Not bounce anything. Nope. It's a nice land to have. So we could -7 and cast some stuff from their grave, or their exile zone. Nothing super good. I think we'll just continue to tick up here. Or we could do it and then we could play our own Ashiok. Hold on. We have another copy. No, I think holding up Castle of Antris is better. Let's just play another Nightmare. Attack them. I don't think they have any creature lands that we gotta worry about. We're doing the control thing. And I think we'll still have mana for Castle of Antris if we get this down. End the turn. Gain some life back, although we're at 21. Herder, where are you going? Alright, we get to go first, finally. This is great. Okay, we'll keep this. Against Van Rock the House. Is that your actual name? Rock the House? Van Rock the House? That can't be your real name. If that's your real name, that's so cool. Well, we want to play Narset on curve. Let's do a Fable Passage. We're not under any pressure on turn 1. Do you rock the house, Van? Is that something that you do on a regular basis? Van rocks the house. I have to say it in that accent. I just have to. I'm sorry if that offends anybody. We want to play Narset next turn, so I guess we'll just play another Fable Passage and pass. We'll put up fake stops here just to make the opponent scared. Rakdos. Okay, Blood Tithe Harvester. Resolves. Make a blood token. That's fine. Go to their end step. Get another island. Okay, nice. This will be good for later. Okay. So we don't really want to Narset now, but no. We gotta get rid of the Blood Tithe Harvester. Let's just pass the turn. If they thought seize us, we can kill it at instant speed. Fable. We also need to get rid of the, is this even? Yes, it is even. Okay, so we can Extinction Event next turn and keep this back. Okay, I think that's what we do. Because this is even as well. Pass. We'll take 3 here. But that way we're only spending 1 spell to get rid of multiple of their things. Even. Gotta get rid of that goblin. Too much value. They still have a Fable. Senor Rock the House. What you got going on in that hand? I'm a fan of Rakdos, so I'm a little worried. Yeah, there's the Thoughtseize. I wonder what they take. There's kind of a lot of different stuff here. I would love if you took the commit. Yeah, put the commit in my graveyard. Do that. They did. Why? I still get the backside. That's like the worst card you could have chosen. Oh, because they're going to exile it. Okay. I got it now. I got it. Alright. Castle of Antris. We could deadly cover up and get rid of like all their thought seizes. That's probably good, right? We could hold that for next turn though, and get multiple things if they don't thought seize it away. I could play Ashiok and make blockers. Yeah, why don't I do that? Why don't I give them something to worry about? This is kind of a bait Ashiok. They could have a way of getting rid of it, but I would like them to try to attack into it, put more stuff on the board, and then we can deadly cover up their stuff. They already know what's in my hand, so it's unlikely they have 2 thought seizes, but if they do have a thought seize, you know, it's kind of a tempo loss for them. They're not even going to attack the Ashiok. That's pretty funny. Well, if you're not going to attack the Ashiok, then I'm not going to block. Not at 17 life. Okay. Smuggler's Copter. Shielded. Ah, I gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. They have 1 card left. Well, I think we're going to deadly cover up here. What do we get rid of? 2 lands. Not great. Would you like to block? Take the damage. Okay. Can't get rid of anything in their graveyard because they exiled stuff from our graveyard with the Trespasser. We don't have enough mana value. But we will on the next deadly cover-up. Okay. Drew 1. Draw a card, discard a card, something like that. They have a blood token too. Okay, Archfiend of the Dross. Okay. What's in your hand if you discarded this? I'm very curious. Okay, let's Narset. Finally.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers. I have just the trick for this.
It'll push. It's a 2 mana. Okay, this is also 2 mana. Yes. What is in your hand? If we kill this, they can't crew this. Taking a lot of life here, but I think this is the right play. Fear of missing out. I mean, that is a good card to get rid of. Shieldred. Discard a card when you do. Whenever you discard one or more cards, exile the top card. You may play that card until your next end step. Your next end step. Okay, so they can play Shieldred next turn. Yikes. Okay. Well, new challenge unlocked. Play Shieldred. Yep, that sucks. So we have to protect the Narset. Pass. Okay. Get rid of that. Draw. Ooh. Beautiful. Just what we needed. Okay, let's -2.
Keep an open mind.
Extinction event. I think we'll take the Fatal Push. Deadly Cover Up. Collect evidence. You And you. Say goodbye to your Shieldred. Van Rock the house. How we feeling? Okay, so probably, is there anything with haste? Arching the Dross is also pretty scary. I think we gotta get rid of their Shieldreds though. That's the one thing that's really gonna mess us up. Library, another Shieldred, Graveyard. Yeah. Okay, they only had 2 in the deck. Let's see what they're running though. So it's just typical Rakdos stuff. Yep. They still have 3 Thoughtseizes in the deck. That's fine. We have mana up for Fatal Push. At some point I'd like to get rid of this Copter. Alright, we've stabilized. We're at 5 life, but we stabilized. Next. They can Blood Token here if they want. Rock the house. I'm waiting for you to rock the house. End turn. Yep. We can Castle Vantress on their end step. Let's put a little stop here. They're gonna draw a card. I don't think that works, does it? Oh, it does work because it's 1 card, and it's on a turn where they didn't already draw a card. If they do it again, it won't work with Narset though, because they already drew a card this turn. Pass. Ooh, nothing? Three steps ahead and Midnight Clock. Yeah, I think we'll take the 3 steps ahead. Blood Token. They don't want the Thoughtseize, huh? Interesting. Okay. I would have thought they want the Thoughtseize in this position, but yeah, okay, they have multiple Thoughtseizes. So we probably won't have a better target, so let's just do this and pay the 5. We still have 2 mana left up. Get rid of the land. Another 3 steps ahead is nice, although we can't cast it this turn. Okay, what does this do? Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Gotcha. S. Can't kill it with Fatal Push unless we have a permanent leave the battlefield. Awkward Thoughtseize. I don't think we want a Thoughtseize here. Not at 5 life. We'll just hold up our counterspell, draw some more cards. Thoughtseize. Wow. Hopefully we draw into an Edict. We do not. I don't think we want this Thoughtseize. I think we'd rather have these cards. This can gain us life back as well. Resolve. So what does this say? At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, return target creature card with mana value less than equal to release its power from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. Whenever it attacks with a +1/+1 counter on it. Resolve. Okay. They might try to crew the Copter here. No, they're just going for my life. Smart. Okay. Pass. We can turn on Revolt next turn with Fatal Passage though, so we're not in a total mess here. We are one well, no, we got rid of their Shieldreds. I was gonna say we're 1 Shieldred away from death, but we did get rid of their Shieldred. So what are they gonna bring back? They're gonna bring back Graveyard Trespasser. That's a lot of things I gotta get rid of. Okay. Well, I think we gotta do this now. What are they gonna exile? Exile 2 of your own creatures. Okay. Oh, because I lose life. Ah, got me. He did rock the house. He did rock the house. Alright, opponent gets to go first. Pantsy Rotgi? I don't know how to say that. We're gonna call you Pantsy. Fancy. What are you up to today? We technically have all our mana, but it's slow. I mean, we do have a Thoughtseize. His hand is kind of poo-poo. It would be good if we were going first. It would be acceptable, is what I should say. It would be acceptable if we were going first. Going second on the draw. Kind of rough. We'll try it. We'll try it. Against a mid-range or control deck, this is acceptable. Against an aggro deck, no bueno. Is it? Okay. Could be Transmogrify. Oh, is it Phoenix? Okay. Is it Phoenix? Untapped land is nice. And hold up Jawari Disruption next turn. Okay. Probably want to get rid of their Spell Pierce. We don't want them countering our stuff. We don't want to give them a target for Lightning Axe, that way they can't discard their Phoenix. Okay, 2 untapped lands is good. I think we'll just hold up Jawari's Disruption now that we have 4 lands. Oh, we don't have blue. Whoops. Okay. Well, that's okay. Never mind. I thought this could tap for blue, but it can only tap for colors for a Planeswalker, not for any other kind of spell. That's okay. If they get a Phoenix down, we can Edict it. It's all good. Pantsy. Are you gonna get your Phoenix in the graveyard? Pass. Okay, well we do have a target for this, so that's good. Get rid of that. Temple of Deceit. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize. Ledger Shredder, Treasure Cruise. Probably the Treasure Cruise, right? They have 8 cards in graveyard, yeah. We can't allow them to draw that many. Get rid of that. It's unbelievable that they made this a common back in the day. Wizards, wizards, wizards. Let's Temple. We'll give them 1 free turn. Narset can help us dig. I don't know if they can get the Phoenix off next turn. So I think... Do they have anything that does damage to Planeswalkers? Target creature... Target creature... No. Alright. Do we have 2 blue sources? We will with the Fable Passage. / Interplanar Beacon. Okay. We're gonna take a risk. We're gonna try to hold up... Yeah, or what I'm trying to say is we're going to try to hope that they don't get a Phoenix in the graveyard and cast it this turn. Okay, they do get a Phoenix in the graveyard, but I think they're done for the turn. I don't think they... Yeah, tap land. Okay. So... Fable Passage. Get another blue source. We're looking for a deadly cover-up. Now we have double blue, double black. Narset.
The focus and discipline hone your prowess.
There it is. There it is. Pansy. Now they could get a spell pierce. They definitely need one. If they hold up mana, we know what they're doing. They can kill the Narset here. They kind of have to. They probably should have gone to combat first. Well, yeah, it's stopping them from drawing cards. So yeah, Narset actually was the right card to play. Now, like I said, they can kill it here. But it did its job. It got us the card we needed and stopped them from drawing cards. Oh yeah, it's over. It is over. Is it Phoenix? What are you gonna do without any Phoenixes? What are you gonna do? Pansy. How about we play Is it Phoenix with no Phoenixes? I wonder how fun that'll be. Let's try that. Let's see how that experience goes. What are you digging for? You don't have any Phoenixes. I mean, props to you for still wanting to play, but Treasure Cruise? Yeah. Into what? The Phoenixes are your only win con. Exile. Alright, well, we're under 0 pressure, so let's Midnight Clock. And I guess just see what's going on in that hand of yours. Pansy. Spell Pierce. Sure. We'll pay. Lightning Axe. Fiery Impulse. Okay, well, let's get rid of the Lightning Axe, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Wait, this is a land? At this point, yeah. It's probably not going to hit anything. They do have Hall of the Storm Giants. Okay, so maybe that's what they're banking on. But we have a Fatal Push. They're going to power up the Hall. Oh, Pansy, I see. You're holding on to hope. I see. How many halls do you have? I wonder. Opt, sure. Fancy. Gonna fire up that hall? Nope, not this turn. Maybe they're looking for another hall? Oh, you have no maximum hand size at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you've drawn more than one card this turn, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X... Okay, sure. Not worried about that. They can draw a card, sure. Okay. Pansy. Pass. Pass. Alright. So let's crack the Fable Passage. Looks like we need some more black mana. And let's pump up this clock. How many times can we do it? 2 more times? Just 1 more time. Brazen Borrower. Sure. Okay, so they do got other stuff going on. They do got other stuff going on. If I cast this, the risk is I don't draw a untapped black source and I just die to the Hall next turn. I don't really want to take that risk. So let's get the clock back down. Pass the turn. Fire up the Hall. Do it. Yes. Excellent. Yes. Ward 3, I know. It's ridiculous. But I have the mana. Bye! Temple of Deceit. They can flash in the Borrower. That's okay. Spell Pierce. Nope, I think we're looking for removal at this point. They can't attack with the Borrower this turn, but they can play it. Ledger Shredder, okay. Brazen Borrower. Draw discard. Okay. Spell Pierce. We put that on the bottom. Okay. We can gain some life by playing the Ashiok as well. So... Stable Passage. If we -3, they can kill it with Ledger Shredder. Oh, I think we have to. I don't think we have a choice. I think our goal now is to survive. And try to get this midnight clock off.
The regrets of the dead are the sweetest ingredient. You will feel inspired.
Okay. Back to Fable Passage. I don't think it really matters, but I think we'll get some more black mana just in case. Next end turn. So we have 7 more hour counters to put on this. Pass. I wonder if they'll attack me or the Ashiok. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Back to shadows.
Okay. Put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. Another Midnight Clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can put 3 more counters on it, which would take me up to 10. Then on their upkeep, 11, my upkeep, 12, right? Yes. So hopefully they don't draw a Brazen Borrower. End step. No Brazen Borrower, please. New hand. New hand for waste. How do we feel about that, Pansy? How do we feel about my fresh new hand? Oh. Castle Vantress, beautiful. Alright, so We don't have a way to, since our graveyard got shuffled back in our deck, we don't have a way to collect evidence on this. So let's get down the Celestis. Let's play Ashiok. Gain some life. They can draw a discard if they want. Gain life. Gain life. Spell Pierce? No. Okay. We will -3. Put that back in your hand. Get it off the battlefield, please. Okay. And then we'll hold up Fatal Push for when they play the Ledger Shredder again. Yep. Resolve, that's fine. They have 17 cards left in their deck. Kind of crazy. Izzet Phoenix really churns through their deck. Fancy! Mill 4 cards. You want to mill more cards? Be my guest. Okay. Let's get rid of the Ledger Shredder. Yep. Opt. Man, you're gonna mill yourself out. It's fine by me. Put some counters on it. Maybe that's what they're going for. They're just trying to pump their creature as much as possible. Okay. Well, I think, do we have any basics left in the deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have 1 basic left. So let's get it out of the deck. Oh, 2 basics. Okay. Guess we'll just do it like this. Gain some life. Look at the top 4. And Z. Resolve. Spell Pierce and another Narset. We'll take another Narset. I'm not really worried about Spell Pierce. Kind of late in the game for that. We will... actually, hold on. I think we'll just Deadly Cover up here. And then we'll make a Nightmare. That's the turn. Fancy! You know what, like, kidding aside, mad props to this player for playing this out. Like, seriously. This guy has some... guy or girl has some serious cojones, and I have mad respect for them. Mad respect. Anyway, back to my character. Fancy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Treasure Cruise? Dude, you're gonna mill yourself out. 6 cards left in your deck. And you can't... Oops, indeed. Good game, they say. Good game. Good game. Hey. Mad respect. They played it out till the end. Rank up. Well, not rank up, but getting closer to ranking up. Alright, deck review time. This deck is super fun. It's not for the faint of heart. You really have to enjoy playing Control to enjoy this deck. But I love Control. It's one of my favorite archetypes in the format. And this deck tickles that itch. It's unique because it's blue-black in the sense that, you know, blue-white Control, you know, allows you to remove basically anything. Blue-black doesn't. Blue-black has some constraints. You know, we talked about it's not very good at removing enchantments and artifacts. It's really dependent on countering your opponent's stuff and not letting stuff resolve or putting stuff back with Ashiok into their hand and then countering it later. So it's a different kind of control. It's almost even grindier than a normal control deck would be, if you can understand what I'm saying. But super sweet. As I talked about in the intro, I think the only thing I would change really is more Celestici, whatever. I think they're just better than Midnight Clock in this deck. I think Midnight Clock is super good, but maybe as a 2 of or a 1 of, it's just not as good in the early game. It's great in the late game. So like, this is the scenario I'm imagining. Even if we only have one of these in our deck, you know, that makes it unlikely that we'll draw it in the first, you know, half of the game. So even if we draw it late, we can draw it late and then pump a bunch of mana into it to get the effect, right? We don't have to wait 6 turns to get the effect to happen, right? We can play it and then use our extra mana to get the effect. So having one of these in the deck is definitely recommended, but I think early game Celestis is just a much better card. It gains us life, which is better against aggro. It's an artifact with neutral mana cost, so or you know, 3 generic mana cost, so no matter what mana we have down, we can play this, right? As long as we have 3 untapped mana. Versus Midnight Clock, you have to have a blue source, right? And then, you know, this gives us 1 mana of any color, and it lets us loot, and, you know, if we're playing against an aggro deck, we can get rid of the Thought Seizes. If we're playing against a control deck, we can get rid of the Fatal Pushes, and dig through our deck and gain life. So I think more, like, I would run 3 of these and 1 of these. I just don't have 3 of these cracked, and they're, of course, a rare wild card, so I'm not willing to spend the rare wild cards at this point, but plus I don't have any. But I will probably in the future. Otherwise, Deadly Cover-Up is an all-star. Extinction Event, it's good and bad. I think you saw that in the video. It can be great, it can be pretty mid, right? So this is another card that maybe we should take a look at, but as a 2 of, I think it's alright. Deadly Cover-Up is, you know, an all-star. Maybe Languish would be better than Extinction Event, but I'm not 100% sure. But otherwise, I think the distribution of all the cards in the deck, the 1 of Commit, the 1 of Blood on the Snow, I think that's all good. Maybe we should run like 1 or 2 more snow lands, just so we can hit the second clause more often, because there were a couple times where it would have been sweet to get back into our set. But we just don't run a ton of snow lands, so maybe like 1 less Interplanar Beacon, or I don't know, 1 less Temple of Deceit. That's probably right. Yeah, 1 less Temple of Deceit, 1 more Snow Island, and I think we're at the ratio that we want to be at. Otherwise, I enjoy the deck. If you enjoy the deck, subscribe, like, comment, all the things. If you want to join the Discord, talk with other people from the channel, link is in the description. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.